and different types of type conversion. So the topic which we are going to discuss in today's session is type conversion. So what is a type conversion? It's very simple. We have idea about different data types. We have char, we have integer, we have decimal, and we have boolean, and we have string, of course. Now I'm not talking about string type, but I'm talking about the primitive types, all the primitive types, not reference types. So now what is type conversion here? As name says, it's very simple to understand. Converting one data type to another data type is called type conversion. What is it? Converting one data type to another data type is called type conversion. Sometimes in programming, it is necessary to convert one data type to another data type. That is very important. So now this discussion is about that. How do you convert one data type to another data type? That is the discussion here. I hope you are ready for this. Anyhow, definition wise, it's very simple. What is that? Converting one data type to another data type is type conversion. Now the question is, what are the possible conversions which we have in Java and which is not possible? That we are going to discuss in this session. What are possible conversions? What are not possible? And that is what we are going to talk here about. So let's discuss that. So I hope this is clear to all of you, my dear friends. So now coming to the point, you understood what is type conversion. Let's talk about the classification of type conversion or different types of type conversion. So when you talk about this, we have two types of type conversion. How many types, sir? Two types. The first one is implicit. The second one is explicit. Then the question is, what is implicit and what is explicit? When do we go for implicit conversion? When do we go for explicit conversion? This is what we are going to discuss in the next few minutes. So, implicit conversion. Let's talk about this. Implicit. Converting one data type to another data type automatically by the compiler. You don't need to do anything. This conversion happens automatically. That's it. Such kind of conversion is called implicit conversion, and this is done by the compiler. And you can also call this as, you can also call implicit conversion as upcasting. You may hear this word or you may observe this word upcasting. Somewhere you can find this in the some websites or some YouTube channels. You hear this. Implicit is also called upcasting. So that's it. What is that we are going to discuss? So for example, I'm taking a small example to make you understand what is implicit conversion. I take a simple example, int, not just, I'm sorry, byte b equal to 10. So you know byte is just 10. Now I am taking int x equal to int x. I am declaring an integer variable, and to this I am initializing a byte value equal to b, x equal to b. Now here byte is automatically promoted to x, and this is called upcasting. What do you call this as? Upcasting. Just to understand it in an easy way, I'll just tell you a small thing. But of course, it may not be technically correct, but you can understand quickly what is upcasting. So let's talk about this with a small example, with a small paint. I'm opening a paint. Suppose this is byte, and in this you declared one variable. This is byte. Okay. The size of byte is, what is the size of byte? 1 byte. And this is int. What is that? This is a int. It is 4 times that of byte. So this is it. And the size of int is 4 bytes. Now I have a question to you. It's very simple question. Anybody can answer this. Can I put this into this or not? Possible or not? Possible. Why? Because byte can be converted to int. Upcasting means you are promoting this. Where byte will fit into it. We don't have any problem with this. So a smaller data type can be converted to larger data type in almost all the cases, except in one case. I'll talk about that. So this process is called upcasting. I told you this is just to understand in a simplified way. I told smaller to bigger, but technically we use the word upcasting. Smaller to bigger is not appropriate word. Of course, in 99% of the cases, it is valid in Java, except in one case. I'll conclude this at the end of this discussion. Typecasting, type conversion. So here, our byte is automatically promoted to int. No problem. Similarly, byte can be promoted to long or float or double. Anything is possible. And such conversion, you call it as upcasting. Now, just print this system.out.println of x. Now you don't get any compilation error. There is no issue with this. You don't get any compilation error. You don't have any compilation problem. I hope this is clear. Got clarity on this? This is idea about upcasting. Let us test this quickly using Eclipse. I'm putting my code in this test class because you know how to write a class by now. I had discussed this in all my previous videos, how to write a class, how to declare small programs, medium programs. Now when you see, when I just paste the code here, I don't have any compilation. This is not error. Don't think this is error. It's just showing what is that? Some spelling mistake. That's all. You can run this. You don't have any issue. Save this program and run this code. It will run happy. You get 10. But here you are printing X, not B. But still you get 10. And here, when you initialize byte to X, this B is promoted to first int. Then the value is initialized to X. You understand that now? So this is what happens in upcasting. Now let me run it quickly. You get 10 output. Yes, you got 10 here. I hope this is clear to all of you, my dear viewers. So that's it, my dear friends. This is upcasting. What about downcasting? Let us take the same notepad, same paint. Suppose the example is this, same example, but with small change. Suppose I have something like int x equal to 10. Now I am initializing this x to some byte variable, byte b equal to x. You see now I am initializing x to byte. Now I am trying to initialize a larger value to a smaller data type. The size of int is 4, the size of byte is 1. Now if you look into this, I am trying to convert this int to byte. What I am trying to do, convert int to byte. Can I put this into this? Possible? Not possible. This is not possible. You can see it's not possible. Maybe I use a red color brush here. Not possible. Saying danger signal. Yep, it's not possible. You get compilation error if I copy and paste this code because this is downcasting. What is that? Actually, we should call this as downcasting, not bigger to smaller, but we should call it downcasting. Whenever we go for downcasting, it leads to compilation error because downcasting is not performed automatically. So if I run this code, now, suppose copy this and put it in the Eclipse here in this program structure, paste it and print B, not X. But still, before printing this B, you have a compilation error at line 2 here. In this line, I mean line 5, I'm sorry. And read the error, please. I'll put cursor on this. The error is clearly visible to us. Type mismatch cannot convert from into 2 byte. This is what your Eclipse is showing. Even if you run from command prompt also, it will say the same. The meaning of that statement will be same. Error, compilation error meaning. Means this is downcasting, not possible automatically. Then what do you do here? What you are going to do? Okay, that's fine. If compiler is not supporting us to convert or to implement downcasting, then we can go for explicit conversion. If compiler is doing, it is implicit conversion. We can do this conversion ourselves, programmatic conversion. And if we do that, and we call it as explicit conversion. What conversion? Explicit conversion. I hope this is clear to all of you, my dear friends. So how do you go for explicit conversion? It's very simple. You know, this is X isn't here. I'll just tell you in the most simple way to implement explicit conversion. This is X. X is an integer. Now I should convert this to byte. Then it's very simple. If I should convert this right side part to left side part, put this type of B in front of this X. Here, put it byte in front of this. That's all over. Now automatically X will get converted to byte here, even though the size of int is much larger than byte. Still, your compiler has to compile this code now, because I'm very clearly telling to the compiler, my dear compiler, you don't bother about this conversion. I know what I am doing here. That's what I am clearly telling to the compiler. And you see, the error is removed once I perform casting here. Can you see this now? But if I remove casting, again the compilation error will reappear. So this is idea about what is that. So it's very simple to implement casting, explicit conversion. So you have to apply a casting with the variable which you want to downcast. So that's it. I hope this is clear now. Now print this B. Now when you run this, you get the output as, you see this now, you get the output as 10, no, right? Simple, right? Is it clear or not? So that's how we can perform explicit conversion. Maybe there is a syntax for this given by the Java people. The syntax for this is data type space var1 equal to type of var2. This is the syntax. Means this type is data type to which this var2 must be converted. Probably it will be the type of var1. Whatever that is there with var1, that you put here. That's all. I hope this is clear. And this conversion, you call this as downcasting. Explicit is also called, what is that? When you talk about explicit, we call this as downcasting. For easy understanding, I told you, converting bigger to smaller. It happens in most of the cases, except in 1 or 2 cases. And another one, upcasting is converting smaller to bigger. I told you, right, in 95 or 99% of the cases, it's possible in Java. Only in 1 or 2 cases, this statement is not applicable. So technically, we should call it as upcasting or downcasting. But in my case, to remember that, I, I just analyze like this, so that I'm able to answer, or I am able to go through any stuff with this understanding, remembering like that, because it is simple to remember, no confusion at all. But you should know what are the possible conversions which are done by compiler automatically. There is a small tree for that. And if you know that possible conversion tree, then you get perfect idea. I'll just show you now. But before that, I hope it's clear to all of you what is upcasting and downcasting. If the compilation is done automatically by the compiler, and if you are trying to convert one data type to other data type, automatically it is implicit or upcasting. Explicit means it is not automatically converted by the compiler, and you have to apply a syntax, that is programmatic conversion, and you call that as downcasting. And this is the possible conversion of all the data types. I'll just show you here. So here, when you look into this is the possible conversion. I'll just show you here. Here, the tree is very simple. You can convert byte to short automatically, short to int, int to long, long to float. Observe here. Here, this is the only one case where you convert a bigger to smaller, and remaining all the cases it's perfect. So I told you, only just for understanding, what is that? You can promote smaller to bigger automatically, bigger to smaller it's not possible automatically, except in one case, this case. Here the float is 4 bytes and long is 8 bytes. So still this is automatically convertible. So float to double. And one more is there, that is a char. So char can be automatically converted to int here. This is possible conversion hierarchy automatically by compiler in Java. And the point is Java is very strict with type conversion. It's not like C and C++. In C and C++, upcasting and downcasting is automatically possible, but not in Java. Java is very strict, is very strictly typed language. So I hope you got clarity here. And here, this is one case you should be very careful, remember. Is it clear to you now? Long is promoted to float automatically. And in all the cases, you can see a smaller data type is promoted larger, except this case. So you should exclusively remember this particular case. I hope this is clear. Now you got idea about upcasting and downcasting. Now I have a small question now. You know, we had discussed about suffixing f with per float. Why? Because when I say float f equal to 10.5, you know, double is obviously larger than float. And by default, a decimal is what type? Double type. This is what type? Double type, not float type. When I just type like this, 10.5, this is by default double, it's not float. The default nature of any decimal is double, not float. So if I initialize double to float, you are trying to perform downcasting. What casting? Downcasting, which is not automatically supported. So you should suffix a decimal literal with small f or capital F to make it a float literal. Now you are explicitly converting this to the float. That's why you should suffix a float literal with a small f or capital F. Now you can avoid compilation error. If you want to quickly cross check, you can check that here. I'll just show you, see here now. You just take a float variable, float f equal to 10.5 and just put semicolon. You get a compilation here. See the error. Type mismatch cannot convert from double to float because it is downcasting. So how do you avoid this? Either you have to go for explicit conversion. You should put float before this decimal. Otherwise, you can suffix the same literal with small f, or you can suffix with capital F. Anything is possible. And this is idea about what is that. Why we should suffix a float literal with the f in Java. Got clarity on this? Similarly, one more important point. Suppose I just enter 10 here. So what is this 10? 10 is an integer. We can specify integer with 4 data types in Java. Byte, short, int, long. What is the default nature of integer here? By default, any integer is of int type. Okay, is this clear? Suppose I'll take a small example. Default nature of any integer is int type. To prove this point, I'll take a small example. You can see here, I'm taking a byte variable, byte b equal to 128. Immediately you got a compilation error because I had discussed the data types. The range of byte is minus 128 to 127. But I am just adding a one value more than that range. But still you have a compilation error. Read the error here, please. Error is cannot convert from int to byte because once if any data type exceeds the range of its value, then by default, this integer type data types are this values are considered as int type. The range of byte is minus 128 to 127, and it's exceeding the range here. So this value is treated as integer but not byte type. It's not within the range of byte, so it is treated as int type, not byte. It is no more a byte value; it's integer value, int value. Why? Because you are exceeding the range. Do you understand this now? So, are you clear with this now? So by default, I can say that this is int type, and if you read the error also, your compiler is saying that cannot convert from int to byte. It's a clear proof that by default any integer is of int type. I hope this is clear. Maybe students keep asking me a question, sorry, then what is the byte and what is short? See, if the value is within the range of that byte or short, their short values are byte value. Excuse me. I hope this is clear. That's all about this one, my dear friends, about type conversion. Got clarity on this now? So we'll meet again in the next video. Thank you very much for watching this video. Hope if you have any questions, please type in my comment section. Please subscribe to this video and please share this video with your friends. And don't forget to comment. Thank you very much.